Hello and welcome to the About Ewe Podcast. I'm your host, my name's Madeline, and this is episode number 20. I'm coming to you today from my home in Canberra, Australia, and it is really gloomy outside. Dark grey skies, it rained this morning. I had a lazy day because I've had a little bit of a sore head this morning, so I didn't go and do my usual park run on a Saturday morning. So I thought I would, now I've done my groceries and I've cleaned my house, record a quick little episode for you. If you are a new viewer, welcome to the podcast. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. You'll find that this channel is mostly about knitting, sometimes sewing, sometimes crochet, but this episode will be completely about knitting because I haven't been doing anything else. I guess let's crack on. First things first, I would like to announce the giveaway from 2 episodes ago, episode 19. So the prize to be won is this beautiful skein of Pickle&Co fibers, which is a pink base with pink, green, orange, red, no red, but like blue, a bit of yellow, just some beautiful speckling, and also a pair of Addy circular needles. And this was a giveaway that I did just to say thank you to people who had watched my videos and stuck around last year when I was particularly intermittent because I was away. Just as a little thank you for your patronage on my channel. And so I had 9 people comment, and it was like, what I asked kind of, what are you making, what are you excited about? I can't remember what the prompt exactly was. I had 9 people comment, so that's my list here. And I did random number generator 1 to 9, and I got number 2, and number 2 is Fibrebound, and Fibrebound is Ali, who is an Australian knitter, and she lives in South Australia, so a few states across from me, and I'm really excited to send that off to her. So Ali, if you're watching this, I probably have already contacted you, but I'll send you a message on Instagram. And I always forget to say this. If you want to find me online, I am at Mad About You on Instagram, and I am Madbell on Ravelry. Please come find me on both of those things. Instagram is public, and my Ravelry is, you can see all my projects and my project notes, and you can also friend me on there, and that'll make it really easy to message. I mean, you can message anyway, but it's nice to build my Ravelry friends up as well. So feel free to follow me on any of those. Onto more regular programming. So today I've only got works in progress, no finished objects. I'll talk about something I want to make, what I'm working on, something I want to make, and then also I will talk about my recent trip to Sydney. Let's talk about that first, because that'll roll into works in progress. So last weekend on Saturday, so a week ago, my friend Robin and I caught the bus from Canberra to Sydney. It's a 3.5-hour bus journey each way, but we did that. I left at 7 a.m. We're in Sydney by 10:30, and then we made it to Skein by about 12, just because we stopped, had a coffee when we got there at the train station where the bus drops you off, and then we caught the public transport. We caught a bus to Dulwich Hill, which is where Skein Sisters is. Now Skein Sisters is my local yarn shop when I live in Sydney. Not my closest, but when I lived there last year, but my favourite one to go to. And anyway, Robin had never been, and I wanted to pop up there to get some Australian yarn for my fibre chef friend, who's actually in Canada this time. So we went up there for the day, and my friend Robin's looking around. She knew what she wanted to buy. They had some spin cycle, and while she was having a look around, I picked out some yarn for my fibre chef friend, and then I also tried on 3 Penguonos. Now, I don't know if you know the Penguono, but it is this massive oversized coat by West Knits or Stephen West, so it's magnificent, as all West Knits patterns are. And I never really considered it as something that I would make for myself. It's a massive piece, I would want to use hand-dyed yarn, the yarn would be so expensive, it'd be the most expensive garment I owned, and all these things I was trying to talk myself out of. And then I was mentioning to Deb, one of the co-owners, and one of the other ladies who works there, that I just had no knitting mojo, and that I was knitting the Hohe thing. So let's go through my Hohe 3-color cashmere cowl. I'm really struggling today to know where to look. So I'm sorry if my eyes are like all over the place. I should have probably figured that out, but I'm sitting on the floor this time, so I don't know why that changes anything. Anyway, so this project is now in hibernation. I probably have no intention of finishing it, but I will maybe leave it on the needles just in case. So I talked about it in the last episode. I was using Cascade yarn. It's a 4-ply fingering weight. And this is the pattern here. It's a really lovely pattern. Like, it's a little bit boring, especially the front bit, which I think is why I was struggling. And also, like, it was kind of, I just thought I need to cast on something small so I'll like get my mojo back, and I like these colors, and nothing, it's just not speaking to me. So that's in hibernation in this really cool bag by Paula Wessels, and I'm going to talk about Paula a bit later in the episode anyway. So this is bag number 1 by Paula that I'm going to show you. Anyway, I'm there, I'm at Skein Sisters, and I'm thinking about it. The pattern I didn't have in my library because I was never intending on making it, and this is about a $10 Australian or $11 pattern by the time you do conversion. So it's not an inexpensive pattern, but theoretically I didn't have to buy any yarn for it. So I got home from Sydney and I pulled out the yarn from my stash. So I don't know if you remember, you probably don't, but I do. This was pretty much full to the top, this shelf here. So I pulled lots of colors out, and Penguono, I want pastel and muted. That's what the kind of vibe that I was going for. And it's a good stash buster, I shouldn't say allegedly, apparently, and now that I started, it can be. So I just want to run you through some of the yarns that I chose, or that I pulled out of my stash, and then I'll show you what I've done so far. So the first one I pulled out was this one here, which is a Fiber Revolution color that I bought in a pack back in 2017 when I made my Hohe Locatelli starting point wrap mystery knit along. So I bought this in a pack, I never used it, so that's been sitting in here. It's been pulled out in and out for different fades, never used. I also pulled out this here, which is a Circus Tonic handmade. It is Sparkle Sock in Pierre de Rosard, maybe. Terrible at my pronunciation. I don't remember what that was actually made after. Usually her socks have themes. Oh, sorry, her like jewels or birds or animals or whatever. This I got in a Fibre Share. It's soft sock merino fingering from a Homespun house, and Molly's Penguono is actually one that I've really looked at as inspiration for my own. Now that I received from a Fibre Share partner, Ricky, back in 2018. This is also from Ricky. This is Witch Fibre&Co, and it's like a lilac yellow cream with a mini skein. So it's a sock set with alternating heel toes and cuffs. I pulled this out. It's a DK weight. It's Salty DK by Saltwater Yarns, an Western Australian dyer. I love this skein. I bought it last year thinking I'd make a beanie, but it'll actually possibly go really well in my Penguono. I pulled this one out, which is Chili Knits. This is pretty in pink. Nimbus fingering, 80-10-10 merino cashmere nylon. Don't know if I will use this one because it's such a beautiful skein, but I've pulled that out of my stash anyway. This is really bright, so probably won't get used. It's called Boysenberry. It's a We Love Knitting yarn. And this I bought in a D-Stash Clio Vims. It is, oh yeah, Vims sock. I think it's Danish, and I can't pronounce the colorway, but it's superwash merino, alpaca, and nylon. So I don't think I'll use it because it's got the alpaca. It'd be just because of the drape. The thing's pretty heavy as it is. Now in terms of like leftovers that I want to pull out and put into this, all of that I showed you was the full skeins. This is leftovers. So this is Pickle&Co. This was called Osaka. This colorway, I made a flax light baby size out of that. These are both We Love Knitting, DK. this is Woolen Boon, and then these 4 are leftovers from my Exploration Station by Stephen West, and these Sweet Georgia yarns. I'm probably not going to use this one. I just think it's too dark for the aesthetic that I want, but these 3 will look really cool either held double mild, or for the welts I might hold them double against themselves. So that's the full ones so far. Oh, and then these are just some leftovers I pulled out of the shelf the other day. So from my Pure Joy, that's both Circus Tonic, and these 2 are also, so this is like Hue Loco and Circus Tonic leftovers in this little bag here. And yeah, I will get on to what I've done. So I also used, I used these 2 together first to dull this, because I said I want pastels and I don't want to be too dark. So I used held these 2 double with a mohair, and this is just a Knit Picks Kid Silk mohair. It's called Aloft. I don't remember the colorway, but like this is it here, but in the blush color. So the way this pattern works is basically it's like a choose your own adventure. You decide based on like what he says, your gauge, how big you're going to make it, and whatnot. So I decided, my coffee's gone cold. I decided that I didn't swatch, I just cast on. I'm using size 5 size 9 5.5mm needles, ChiaoGoo, and I'm also, I'll just show you and then I'll explain. So this is what I've done so far. So this is the back panel, and I like it so far a lot actually. It is 2 skeins of fingering and the mohair, so maybe you can see the soft fuzzy halo. Yeah, there we go. This is gonna be really warm, which is cool. I'm really excited about that. And as you see, like I've got stitch markers in here. So the first one, I've knit about 20 rows, and I've got really detailed notes so far on my Ravelry page, and I will keep that up because I think I've been struggling to find notes, and so I figure like if I wanted them and couldn't find them, I'm gonna put them up there for someone else. So I knit in just the blue and white to this first stitch mark here, and then I alternated blue and purple, and the purple is Woolberry Fibre Company, and so I've held these 2 together with the tanny beigey creamy mohair, so those 3, and I alternated a row of, or by row I mean it's a double row, it's an up and back because it's seed stitch, of cream and blue, purple and blue, cream and blue, purple and blue a couple of times, and then I just started on the purple and blue with the mohair. And I originally had a different like fading combo, and I had to rip it out, and that was not fun detangling because I had 4 balls of yarn attached at one time essentially, and that was no good. So I'm gonna keep doing that for another 10 rows I think, and then I'll start blending in this, which is also Fibre Revolution, and I've had in my stash since the Hoyu starting point. So these 2 together next. It's about halfway for the back piece. You're supposed to knit like 60 something rows, and I'm about 30 something, and I think like it'll stretch. It's really stretchy material. Then the next thing you do is put the welts on. So you have to check out the pattern, but I'm thinking maybe like bright welts. Like I want this to be pastel, but the welts kind of like define the back of the outfit, of the jacket coat thing. So I'm kind of thinking like this with a mohair, which would make the right gauge, like or even like pink and green. That might be too Christmassy. I'd have to like knit it together and have a check first. So yeah, this is the Penguono, and like I put something on my Instagram and a few people did reply to me. I've held off on something like this and pulling just those hand-dyed skeins out of my stash, like this pile I've pulled out on my dining room table. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's a couple $100 worth. But it's bringing me joy, and I haven't had that for a long time. Like I know I'm only this far in, I've set myself a little target that I would like to be finished by the 16th of May, which is the Canberra Celebration of Wool Festival, which hopefully will go ahead, but with this COVID business, who knows? And I'd like to wear it there. And then, yeah, I haven't really knit anything else. So I do have my still languishing work in progress, which is this beanie, but I don't remember the last time I showed it to you, and it's really massive. Like, I put it on the, what are these called? And put it back on a circular foot so I could magic loop it. And I'm supposed to start the decreases, but I'm just really not feeling it. So it's still got the needles on it and it's stuck in hibernation. But I thought, I'm showing whips, so I should probably show you this one. And I've just got a basket next to my lounge, in my lounge room. And that's where all the whips go. So yeah, I've been watching The Grocery Girls yesterday, but oh my goodness, their episode's like 2 and a bit hours long, and I just don't have the time nor the inclination, but I love listening to them because they're freaking hilarious. So I think I've mentioned it before, but I listen to, if a podcast is really long, both audio and like on YouTube or knitting ones, I will listen to it on like sped up. And The Grocery Girls I can do at 1.75 without like losing too much meaning. And like when they actually start talking about the knitting or something, I'll slow it down and actually listen. But sometimes it's just too full on and I just don't bother. Oh, just so much talking. Sorry, kick the tripod. Yeah, what else have I done? I've got one more project that I would like to make. So this is None of Our Yarns, Australian dye-up, also not dying anymore. All of my favorites are not dying anymore. It's really tough. Anyway, this is paper cranes. It's white gum wool, 8 ply, 236 meters and 100 grams. So it's pretty decent skein for a like decent size. And what I want to make is called the Febri hat, and it is a Kelborn Woolens pattern. It's a free pattern. You can find them on Ravelry, and they did basically a year of the hat. So like, it's a free pattern, like I said, or it's free at the moment. They did 12 designs. I've put a few in my Ravelry library, maybe one more in my queue. Yeah, I'll just show you again. Like the stitch pattern's like really interesting, and I've always shied away from seed stitch, but this whole bloody back of the Penguono is seed stitch, so I'm actually not so terrified about giving it a go. And I think that yarn will look really nice with my skin tone, and it's pretty cool. So I'm probably gonna make that sometime in the near future, but Penguono is totally taking priority. And I have lots of books that I haven't really read that I own. I got rid of a lot of books when I moved, but I need to read more, so I will also be reading actual books that I own as opposed to fan fiction on the internet, which is what I'm doing a lot at the moment, and it's no good. It's excellent, I love it, but now I've found like 4 stories, they're not finished, I've subscribed so I'll get updates, and then I get a chapter at a time, and I'm not binging trying to find them, or like just reading through shitty ones to then find out they're not finished, or not shitty, I shouldn't say they're shitty, but they're not fantastic or well written. But I'm like, need my fix of escapisms. So I've been doing that, which is so silly. I don't really know what else I wanted to talk about besides my beautiful gift from my lovely, lovely friend Paula, who lives in America. We were fiber share partners my first round. She sent yarn to me and I sent to another lady in Georgia. Yeah, and Paula lives in the Northwest Pacific. I think that's right. Anyway, I know where she lives, but I don't want to put that out there. So she messaged me about Christmas time and said, hey, I want to put something together for you. And I was like, yeah, cool, here's my address. And then I moved around a bit and I finally got home. So when I finally got a fixed address, she posted it to me and it arrived so quickly. It was a bit of a mix up with my address because I gave her a PO box, which is like post office box. But she sent it FedEx and they wanted a house address, and then it sat in the depot here for like 3 days before they'd release it to me, and I could like go to pick it up and they're like, oh no, we will deliver. They did, it was great. but then to the post office after all of that, they sent it to the post office. So that was a little bit funny, stressful on both our ends, because I'm like, it's in Australia, but I don't know if I can get it, and Paula's like really wanted to make sure that I did receive it. So anyway, it was such a beautiful package. I got it last Friday. Warm to my heart. It was just, she wrote a beautiful card and gave me some beautiful gifts. So the first thing is this mug that I'm using here, and it's got my now cold latte in it. But it's lovely. It is made by someone called Sharon Sasha. I'm gonna put that up on the screen, because if you live in America, you can probably find this, and it's really cool. It's like a it's knitted, and it's like a button up, like a cozy, but it's the whole thing. So it's really awesome. Handmade. So there's that. She also sent me this little, she's quite the sewist, Hello Kitty notions pouch, and it has this really cute keyring that says F off, I'm knitting, which is totally my sentiments, because the F word is my favorite curse word. And it's got stitch markers, key rings, like project progress keepers. It's really, really cool. And I think she might make these herself, because when we did our fiber share, like, I got a few others. Some have fallen off and I put them on other bags now, and then there's this little teacup one, which I love. So anyway, and then this tiny cute little notions pouch, which is awesome. And then I have made my own Finch bucket tote before, and I'm fairly sure that's the pattern that this is. So her Etsy shop is called Dachshund Studios. She has 2 dachshunds, which are just the cutest. And I think this pattern was like one of the first bags she made when she started making them to sell. And I remember thinking, I want to say Frankie, but maybe that's another friend who has a dachshund. Their dog called Frankie, can't remember. Anyway, she had her dogs in this bag, and it was the cutest, and I commented, and I was like, God damn it, I wish I lived closer to an exchange rate. It wasn't so shit for us to buy from America. Anyway, she sent me this bag. I just cannot believe it. Like, her generosity is astounding. Thank you so much, Paula. This is fantastic. So the bottom of the base is like this really thick canvas, and it's like in the base of the bag as well. You know, I'm just gonna empty out my Penguono stash. Super well made. And then, oh, there's my hair. It's got pockets, so even more pockets than I thought. This is awesome. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets, and it's just like super well made. Like the pattern matches up. It's got the really cool drawstring. Like, look at this. It's just amazing. So my kitchen table for the last week has just been all these skeins of yarn sitting so nicely in this bag, and it's been great. So like, I kind of had planned the first 3 colors of my Penguono, so I knew what they were, but everything else has just been sitting here, and like I said, on my kitchen table, and I just love it. Like, it's amazing. So I'm gonna just put this yarn in here and let you know how many skeins you can fit. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, let's see, that's 10, that can be 10 and a half, 11. Yeah, okay, so this bag easily fits like 12, 13 skeins of yarn, and that's fingering weight and DK, so it's pretty impressive. Like, this bag is solid, like, it's super well made and stunning. And so anyway, I've rambled now. I will put a link in the down description box downstairs for Paula's Etsy shop. If you are remotely interested, I highly recommend, and you live in America, because shipping and exchange rates or whatever, completely understandable. Look her up. It's amazing. Like, I was so like grateful for this patchwork quilt, well, like patchwork bag. When we did our first fiber share, I just thought this was amazing, because I had just learnt to sew when I sent my thing to my fiber share partner. I made her a little notions pouch, and then I got this beautiful bag, and then this one, and honestly, like, I'm just so, no words. Thank you so much. So she's beautiful, beautiful person anyway. And then all of this, stunning. Okay, I've rambled for 5 minutes about that, but that's how passionate I feel about it because amazing. All right, one more thing. So I haven't used it yet because I wet blocked something, but I was at Target a couple weeks ago and I bought a handheld steamer. So Skein sisters have one. It's actually really good, like if you're starting to knit something and you just want to, obviously if it's still on the needles and you can't wet block it, but you want to see the drape or whatever, something like this is a really good idea. So I bought one. I haven't used it yet. I didn't look for any reviews, but to be honest, I haven't seen any that went on Amazon, and I don't know how this one works. Maybe it has a battery. Probably should have checked that, hey. Whew, excuse me. Yeah, okay, don't know. But anyway, it has a fabric brush, it has whatever, it's gonna be sick. I'm really excited to get to use it, and I don't know when that will be because nothing I'm gonna be making is gonna need blocking. Oh my god, could you imagine if I blocked the Penguono? I really don't think I'm going to. It's gonna be too big and like too fluffy and whatever. I honestly think that's everything. I was hoping to have cast on my granny stripe blanket before, but I got too enthusiastic about the Penguono, so I penguonoed. Yeah, like, I think that's it. What I will do is take a video of my Fibrebound parcel that I'm going to send to my Fibrebound partner, and then after I've gifted it, I'll take you through what I bought. I'm focusing on Australian made. I may sew her something. I pulled some fabric out. I just haven't sewn in like 18 months, so a bit rusty. My machine probably needs a service and I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, that's enough about me. Actually, no, one more thing while they're here. So I'm a massive fan of Ugg boots. I don't know if you have them in other countries, but in Australia I definitely do. So I have a pair that I've had for quite a few years, and they're like a full boot. They're purple, they're sick, like I love them. And then I bought this pair the other day, or maybe like a week ago. The company is Ugg Australian Shepherd, or it's just like Ugg. Okay, maybe that's what it's. Cow leather and sheepskin upper, either sole. Anyway, Ugg Express, I think was the website I bought them off. I wear a size 8, so it's a 6 veil 8 ladies. I have 2 pairs. I didn't take the darn sticker off before I walked around in them, and now I can't get it off. Yeah, anyway, I've been walking around my house in them. They're so soft on the feet. So if you're in isolation because of your COVID, or you've got a cold, or even if it's cold where you live, honestly, like sheepskin Ugg boots are the bomb. And it's kind of relevant because it's sheepskin. And yeah, I'm just rambling now. I just saw them out the corner of my eye and was like, I love my Ugg boots. I didn't have any for about the first 25 years of my life, and I think they're totally worth the little bit more money than just your average pair of slippers from like Spend Less or whatever. Like, honestly, cannot recommend more. And you get sparkly ones, like you can get your traditional brown, whatever. These ones are really cool. They're bright pink. My other ones are purple. I just love them. Right, well, I've rambled literally for an extra 10 minutes than probably necessary. So thank you so much for joining me. I'll probably be back in like a week or two. Hopefully I'll have like done the back panel and maybe some welts on my Penguono. But I am actually going up to Sydney for a girls' weekend next weekend with a friend of mine. So probably not a lot of knitting, but I will take it with me. I volunteered to drive because I have the slightly smaller car. I'm driving around the city a little bit. So I probably won't get so much knitting time, but I'm going to take it with me and see how we go. I'll see you soon. If you like what you see, leave me a comment downstairs, bloody hell. Leave me a comment in the description, like underneath the description box, if you've got any suggestions about my Penguono. I've been like looking at so many different YouTubes, mainly Molly of A Homespun House, the Legacy Fiber Arts ladies, I think Chelsea did one, and I followed that on Ravelry, like I've favorited that, and there's a few other really cool ones. So if I've inspired you with a Penguono, my parting words are like, use the good candle, use the stash. Like, let's not feel guilty about the fact we spent money. Like, it's spent. My stash has been sitting in my shelf. Some of these skeins I've had for 3 years. Like, let's just burn the darn good candle, live our life in the now. Like, I don't mean make rash decisions at all, but in terms of crafting, like, we do have special skeins that might need to be saved, but like I've been saving these for this special project, and you know what, this is my bloody special project. So have a lovely couple of weeks, use the good yarn, and I'll see you soon.